guys, it's Lisa Mackey and welcome to the channel that helps you succeed through you. Yes, you, your own uniqueness. This video is part 2 of the COVID-19 crisis and how to deal effectively with the crisis. So if you haven't watched the first video, I suggest you watch it so you'll better appreciate and understand what I'm going to share on this video. So this video is about you and how you can stay on top of your game in the midst of crisis. So the first video was about the physical, or what we see in the physical in relation to the crisis and how we can deal with it in the physical sense. And unless your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being is in good shape or well-functioning, it's really going to be difficult for you to deal with a crisis. So this video is specifically for your mental and emotional well-being and how you can be strong in those areas so you can stay on top of your game. Now, everything that we experience physically, you know, the things that we watch in the news, the things that are happening around us, and even not being able to get out of our houses, these are all physical things that are going on. And even losing a job, or all of a sudden you have financial problems. These are all physical conditions, but they affect us emotionally and mentally. And so if we are not emotionally and mentally strong, then everything else around us will crumble. We will not be able to deal with the situation, let alone be successful in dealing with it and staying on top of our game. So what I'm going to share with you is how you can be mentally and emotionally strong, because it's not anymore a matter of mental and emotional preparation because it's already here. So what I'm going to share with you is how you can strengthen your mental and emotional condition. But before I give you some tips, let me explain to you the process of how the brain and the heart work together. So the heart is not isolated from the brain. They are connected. But it goes here first. And this is why the brain is higher than the heart. So everything goes here first, and then it goes down to the heart. And then that's when we take action. And so to influence the heart in a good way so that the action will be good is a matter of influencing the brain. So this will require a lot of mind shifting and switching. So if you just recently lost your job, the reality is that can really be scary. But your heart will not feel scared unless your mind tells the heart that it is scary. So if you want to change that, then you have to change the way your mind thinks. And this is what I'm going to present to you. One of the things that I talked about in the first video is the importance of being objective and not reactive. Now, I have a whole chapter of this in my book, Simplify to Intensify. If you're interested to find out more about that book, check the video description. I have the link there. But being objective and not reactive is something so valuable at this time. I mean, if you can have that, if you can train your mind to be objective and not reactive, excuse me, my hair is going to my face, then you have something valuable that will not only help you stay on top of your game, but even ahead of everybody else. So the brain is actually programmed to be reactive. It's the brain's reflex. You know, whatever it thinks, it reacts right away. So to train your brain to be objective is something that will require a switch and a switch and a shift. And to do that, you have to be able to step back. So the first step this is not chronological, but one of the steps, so one step is for you to learn how to step back from any situation, because this will allow you to think. So the brain will automatically react. And so you have to be conscious. You have to intentionally observe things around you. And when you feel, and you have to intentionally tell yourself, I want to be objective, so that you will be cautious and conscious of what is going on around you. So for instance, you're watching the news. Of course, the brain will automatically want to react. Well, step back. And this is why having a quiet time or learning how to meditate, it's like giving yourself a timeout, is very crucial to learning how to step back. And I'm going to talk more about that on my last video, which will touch on the spiritual aspect of you. And so stepping back is one step. Another step that is very connected to that is to learn how to bridle your tongue. This tongue is dangerous. In fact, James 3 of the Bible talks about the tongue as a wildfire. So the thing is, everything starts here, right? And then it goes down here. And then it goes out. You know, the Bible also talks about out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So now when we release that, we are actually releasing something that will affect not only other people, but decisions and actions. So when we learn how to bridle our tongue, which is actually similar to stepping back, but this one is more specific, bridling the tongue means that you don't say anything unless you're sure that what you're going to say is going to produce a productive result. That's why complaining, it's free to complain. You can complain for all you want. But what it does to you is it stops your brain from being productive. Instead of thinking of solutions to problems, you're just focused on the problem, and it's not going to help you, especially not at this time. And so when you bridle your tongue, you actually learn to listen to what's really going on. You become sensitive of things that other people may not be seeing. Going back to objectivity before I present the other steps. Reactivity is actually what causes a herd mentality. And you know what a herd mentality is. One person talks about it and then it creates a domino effect. So this is actually the cause of an economic crash. It's actually what one person said that was passed on to the other, and that's actually what a herd mentality is about. So that is what reactivity results to. And everybody, for the most part, the majority of people are reactive. And that's why I said, if you can learn how to be objective and you have time in your hands right now, seriously, time in your hands right now is more valuable than money. You have time in your hands right now to train your mind to be objective. And as I've said, if you learn how to be objective, you will not only stay on top of your game, but you will be ahead of the rest. And so going back to bridling the tongue, if you want to train yourself how to do that, talk to somebody who talks a lot, somebody who is so talkative, and practice not even reacting and just listen. This is something I've learned in my profession. And that is why I am a very effective coach, because I know how to listen. And when you know how to listen, actually, it reveals so much about the person, because people hate those spaces in between. So when there's silence, they keep talking and talking and talking. And so if you want to expose someone, if you're a detective wanting to know more from the person, just keep quiet and that person will keep talking. So learn how to bridle your tongue. Another step, so I've already presented two. Another step is to, let me look at my notes, I forgot. Okay, to look at your situation from the outside. Learn how to look at your situation from the outside. So pretend that you are somebody else. Okay, so the first one was step back. The other one is bridle your tongue. This one, you really step outside of your situation and look at yourself like you are another person. So what are you going to tell that person? How are you going to help that person? What advice are you going to give that person? So this is one way you can be objective. And that will really help you. And then the fourth, again, not chronologically, the fourth step is to find someone to talk to, somebody more objective, somebody who's just not going to side with you or pat you on the back and say, oh, it's going to be okay. Oh, I understand. Misery loves company. That's the last person you want to talk to, somebody who's also dwelling in, negativity or fear. You need someone objective. You also don't need someone who's just going to say, oh, everything's going to be okay. You need somebody who can show you what's really going on. And this is why, a coach like me is very valuable at this time, or when you're trying to figure things out. But of course, if you don't have the money to pay for a coach, then it always pays to have somebody to talk to. Somebody who can help you see things from the outside. And sometimes that's really all you need, so you can see things more clearly. So those are the most important steps that you can use in training your mind to be more objective. And other than being objective, one thing that will also help you become stronger mentally and emotionally is to watch what goes on in your mind. It's good to know what's going on so you can exercise more wisdom in implementing what needs to be done. But if it's affecting you negatively, that's when you step back. Just step back until you start feeling better again. I want to read something to you from Philippians 4:8. It's really good. Okay? Whatever is true, and I really want you to pay attention to this one, and if you can write it down, or if you have your Bibles, even if you don't have a Bible, you can always use your app or just Google it. Philippians 4:8, and recite this to remind you. Whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things. So meditate and think of positive things, things that will add value, things that will make you stronger mentally and emotionally. However, you also cannot be in denial. Because honestly, I have seen so many people, even people I know, who were in denial for a long time until it finally hit close to home. This crisis wouldn't have been this huge if people were not in denial. Because really, we need to see the situation for what it is so we can solve it. I mean, this situation that we have now is finally being contained because people started facing the reality. So in as much as positivity is good, and I'm going to talk more about the real true positivity on my last video about your spiritual condition, but in as much as positivity is good, it is also not good to not hear the other side. So which brings me to having the right balance, which is also crucial to having a good and stable mental and emotional state. And then, something that I also want to impart to you is the importance of embracing the struggle. Again, this is one chapter in my book, Simplify to Intensify. There's no greater time than this, than to be able to apply this. Embrace the struggle. Struggles are only there because of resistance. So when you stop resisting, there is no more struggle. And then miracles happen. I'm not saying you just surrender to the fact that there's a problem. All I'm saying is don't fight it. Accept it for what it is. And then go for it. Do your best and be strong and have faith. And I'm going to talk more about faith again on my last video. I'm reserving the best for last. So, I hope you've learned, and I hope this video has encouraged you. In whatever way it has helped you, if this video has helped you, please click like. And don't forget to share this with your friends and your family, because people need to hear this. It's not even about me promoting myself. This is me trying to help you, giving you something for free that will encourage you based on my skills and abilities as a personal and professional development coach. And please feel free to leave comments. You can ask me any questions related to this topic and even from the first video. And you can actually share things with me as well. It's always good to have each other, to exchange conversation. And I will have my last video, and of course, I'll be making lots and lots of more videos. And so please click the subscribe button and the bell so you'll be notified of every video I post. So remember, you are created for a unique purpose that only you can fulfill. Thank you so much, and see you again next time.